Um, Hello everyone. Today I'll be doing a review of the Doughjoy donut. In Seattle. I think they're only open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, yeah. Shout out to my, I guess, it's like a 15-minute walk from my place. So part of the review will be factoring in the slightly rainy weather this morning, as well as the walk back. And you can see it's kind of wet from the rain, a tiny bit wet, but yeah, overall it seems like it's still in pretty good condition. Also, yeah, I guess shout out to Ronaldo, or yeah, this review is for him. Yeah, it's thanks to my friends Ezekiel and Thomas for choosing the flavor of the donut. There was a bunch. Let's see if I can show a photo actually of the selection. They had quite a bit. It's like a selection of donuts, and I guess the Pride one is the one that stands out the most because it's a bunch of different colors. Yeah. I guess this is a review for like takeout, not immediate consumption. So, like I have Doughjoy before when I pretty much immediately consumed it after buying it. It's a bit sticky, given that part of it melted, or icing, I don't know, but here's a Pride donut. Looks really good. Has basically rainbow color. The red is not super red, more like a pink. Yeah. Sue! Looks good. I'm gonna first take a photo, given that this is like $4 or $5 donut, and I'm not a big fan of paying this much for donuts, but yeah. It's in really good condition still, despite walking a bunch. Let me take a first bite. A little on the inside. It's really good. Reminds me of like the regular sprinkled donuts from Tim Hortons in Canada, or just a vanilla dip. I don't know, but like it just basically the only special thing is the rainbow color. The icing frosting stuff is, you can see, is mostly, the base is mostly like white-ish. So yeah, it's just a regular donut, but it looks really good. And given that it's Doughjoy, it's like freshly made, since they're only open like 5-6 hours a day, only for 4 days a week. So a fresh donut, so it's much better than generic pre-made donuts. And it's just a generic flavor, but a really good outside look. Not a negative shout out to Qatar, but yeah, Pride donut, pretty good. And yeah, of course, icing does melt on the fingers, but the sparkles look good, and looks super delicious. And yeah, it's a good eating experience as well, since aesthetically it looks great. Eating it, it's a very solid donut. Like, can't go wrong with this. Unfortunately, this is not a Minecraft tutorial. I apologize to whoever thought it is. And yeah, for I guess most of these specialty donut stores, obviously it's best to eat it as soon as possible, given that it's already really freshly made, like this one. Compared to like cheaper donuts where you could store them longer, since it's like whatever. It's a very high quality donut. Generic flavor, but super unique looks. And yeah, I'll just finish this and end off the live stream / video. Yep, I guess now it's pretty much a rainbow arch thing. Cool. Yeah, because for specialty stores, it's really nice to support local businesses. Almost done. We got pink part left. Yeah, give this 8.9 out of 10. Overall, if it was a bit more healthy and they give me nutrition facts, I might rate it a bit higher. Obviously, donuts are not that healthy, so that's why. But relatively to other donuts I've eaten, 8.9 out of 10. Really good quality, but obviously, I'm pretty sure there's better ones out there, or I've had better ones, but this is still really good. Though it's generic, it's really high quality, and the aesthetic design is really nice. Yeah, that's it. I guess thoughts on Portugal versus Morocco. Oh wow. As you see on the side, um, Ronaldo. Like I'm pretty sure for some of these games he didn't do that good, but like the coach benched him for more than half the game, basically. Um, I think he should have played more. Like even though he might not be as good anymore, I guess. Like still, I'm pretty sure he would have done better if he had if he got going earlier. Like if you put him on for like less than a half, it takes a minute, 5 to 10 minutes to like get adjusted to the pace of the game and the environment, and then I guess Morocco's defense was just way too OP. But I really wanted to sue, but unfortunately for the last ever since the first game, I could not have sued. So yeah, very upset because of that. Very high chances this is his last World Cup, which is pretty upsetting. Guys, given his mood, like you could see him, or like he was like crying towards the locker room, obviously, and yeah, it's just really sad. Like based on this mood and what happened during, I guess, club football when he disrespected his whole team for both valid and invalid reasons. I think he's gonna accept like the $200 million a year to play in forgot like Saudi Arabia or something, and like the Seals won't be the same when you're playing against when you're not playing in the top leagues. So it's like seeing an 80-year-old Sue. It's not really as hype anymore in those leagues. If he goes to MLS like in a few years, then that'll be really hype too. But I just think it's over for him in the big leagues. Maybe he'll play a game or two for Real Madrid and retire. Or yeah, it's a sad day for football/soccer. It hasn't been a good World Cup for him. Like a lot of controversy going in, a lot of controversy during the World Cup because I guess he didn't put up the best performances, didn't score too many goals, got benched for valid and invalid reasons, and yeah, he's just not that guy anymore, unfortunately, and I just wish the best for him, but I guess right now it's time to hope for a Croatia versus Morocco final, and I guess though I really want Messi to win, it's going to be extremely unhype to see Croatia versus Morocco, which will make it more hype since it's going to be a funny matchup. Obviously, Canada was in the hardest group during this World Cup. I underestimated their group severely. Like Belgium, Croatia, and Morocco are basically, you could say, the top 4 teams in the world. Belgium couldn't advance out, but if Belgium was a different group, I'd say Croatia, Morocco, and Belgium would all 3 be in the semifinals. Right now, we have Croatia and Morocco in the semis. Like Belgium would have made it, and if Canada was in a different group, they'd also be in the semifinals. So we probably had the top 4 teams in the world in the same group in the group stage, which is really upsetting. But sometimes rankings are messed up, and it happens that way. But yeah, Canada had a hard group. It was really unlucky. I thought Morocco finished last, but there's some solid players there who plays in the big leagues, and yeah, Morocco shouldn't underestimate them. We'll see if France versus England later, but that'll be an interesting match in the semis for both sides. Thoughts on collateral damage? Yeah, our friend Collateral Damage, he's probably one of the biggest Portuguese fans I know out there, and one of the biggest Ronaldo fans. To the point, just like most Ronaldo fans, they kind of disrespect Messi and Argentina, which I don't think they should. I think everyone should be appreciated, especially the two greatest soccer players of all time, Messi and Ronaldo. But yeah, if you're watching this Collateral Damage, I'm sorry for the game. It was really unlucky at times. Obviously, maybe officiating could be better at some times. Obviously, Morocco had like 20-something% possession, which is very, which is kind of like the, I think, Japan versus Spain game, where, yeah, it's just, you got to finish, and Portugal had lots of chances. Not that many chances, but yeah, they have a lot of young players. I think they'll do pretty good next World Cup, at least the quarterfinals again, I hope. But yeah, and I guess, yeah, let's all pray and hope for that Ronaldo still does plays really well, or at least at like the last few years level for the next year or two before he ultimately retires or goes to MLS. And hopefully we could watch him in the MLS, whether it's for Toronto FC or the Seattle Sounders. We should definitely meet up and watch Ronaldo and hopefully sue for the last time. But yeah, pretty crazy games over the last few days. Pretty high quality donut.